but I mean, so the exhaled gas goes through here and then out here, and there's a one-way valve in there, one flapper valve. So inside, that's all there is. So when we clean these, you know, we put them in, soak them, water, you know, or Sidex goes in all these holes and all that, and it actually goes inside here. But all of this and that little circuit board is all sealed, so sealed from moisture, so if you get this inside wet, it's not going to hurt it. This is all there is to the internal workings of the cassette. It's all one piece. So when you look through the cassette, there's nothing in the cassette, nothing in that channel, other than that little thing that you see sticking down from the top, or it's on the side. Yeah, that's all that is a temperature transducer or temperature probe. Measures the temperature inside. This foil is a heater foil that heats the internal channel up to about 102 degrees, so that as patient's exhaled gas goes through here, that it limits the amount of condensation that occurs by keeping that water in suspension, So it goes through and then goes in here, and then kind of like the old IPBB mushroom valves in terms of principle, when the ventilator delivers a breath, there's a metal stem in there that comes up that closes that valve so the patient gets his breath, and then when this is released, then gas goes through here, up a tower, and then out. Okay, so the two parts that could leak is that moisture trap thing that I told you about, and then also the leakage could occur, not necessarily from here, like you were saying, you just take that and wipe that off. It's not really that, because the only thing that hits this is just a little stem that hits that. But in principle, if you could put your finger on the inside of that, then that might be, because if you do a lot of nebulizer treatments and you don't clean the cassettes, sometimes there could be some crystals formed on the inside of that membrane, so that and you can see, if I'll show you, when you push up on it, you see that. So there might be one little teeny crystal that causes a little bump, and so gas doesn't then, or gas leaks out when that closes.
Oh, and that's why Merck recommends the ultrasound. No, the ultrasound nebulizers to go with the machine. Yeah, the ultrasound.
That's for extra flow. Doesn't really like extra flow.
Well, yeah, we don't have any particular recommendation. You can use the handheld nebulizers, or you can use the ultrasonic, or you can use the Aerogens. Do you guys use Aerogens here?
We have a couple, but we don't have many.
Okay. And you like the Aerogens?
I love them.
They're really great. They're great nebulizers.
I got that at Cleveland Regional. They bought the ultrasounds.
The old style ultrasonics or the new ones?
That's the older style. It sat out there by the like an humidifier would.
Yeah.
And they said they had to do that because that's what RT recommended to go with the machine, and not to use any other type of nebulizer.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that from
That was back
6
in the
years
day.
ago. Yeah, 6 7 years
Well,
ago.
back in the day,
Aerogens are different. It's like a little
vibrating
little
mesh.
stem, like a T.
Right, versus true ultrasonic, they're about the same in terms of the functionality. But no, I mean,
No pressure, it just vibrates the mesh.
wherever they heard that's not true. You can use whatever nebulizer. The nebulization that occurs, I mean, is less efficient with a handheld neb than it would be with an ultrasonic or with the vibrating mesh, the Aerogen. But in terms, it might have been if I were a respiratory therapist saying, well, if I were the therapist, I would rather use the ultrasonic. But it doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, when the ventilators first, before the Aerogens, I would say, don't buy the ultrasonic. It's not worth it. Because the ultrasonic itself costs $350. You have to reuse them and clean them, and so they're going to get lost. So I'd say, don't really buy them. Don't add to the cost of the ventilator, because you're going to end up losing those things after a while. Or if you do get them, only use them on your worst asthmatic. The ones that are you need to deliver the very best treatment that you can to. But otherwise, don't get them. But now we have the Aerogen, the nebulizers, but the Aerogen nebulizers are built in to the ventilator. so you don't have to find the handheld units. So it's built in right where that ultrasonic, right above the battery bay there,
Oh, okay.
right where, and it comes out about this far. It just comes out about this far from the side of the ventilator. About this far. It actually attaches to this port right here. Goes in, and then there's two screws that hold it in there, but nothing is different about this. It just goes on there. And then you take that ultrasonic cable and then plug it into not the ultrasonic, but the cable, and then plug it into the Solo nebulizer, the disposable nebulizer. Squirt your medicine in there and put it anywhere you want in the circuit. And then up here, there's a button that says nebulizer. You just touch it and you can say, I want to deliver it for 10 minutes, 15, half an hour, or you can do continuous. Or if you're going to do FlowLan, you just press this button and you're doing FlowLan, and you can hook up an IV pump to drip in so much FlowLan and do it continuous. Okay, so we're almost done. So anyway, this is
It was John's fault.
this thing goes in here, but you can see, just to finish this up, see this port right here? That goes in here. And when it goes in there, then that's where the expiratory pressure is transmitted to that, and that then mates up with that grommet. See, so this is the smaller, the old-fashioned one with the small hole there, as compared to the bigger one that I showed you earlier. And so a little water droplet could get there. Now, if you did have a leak and you go, no, there's no water there, it's not broken, nothing's broken, it could be that on the other side of this membrane that there's some crystals. So the only way that you guys, from a general standpoint, can clean it is just say, okay, probably let's assume that's that. Just soak it in alcohol for a good few hours, and that'll dissolve, and then rinse it real well. You can take these cassettes and take them over to the sink, run water through them this way, and water will pour out. You can use hot water. And you could even, if you do it gently, and I'm sure this isn't not recommended in the manual, but you can, fill it up and do kind of like this. And as you're doing it, this will go boop, 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 as you're doing, but you're agitating the water as it's flowing through there to clean that off of whatever it might be. So it's helpful to know what the inside of these look like. And so this is the only thing that gets wet on the inside.